ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be talking about the Playmates, Godzilla Kong, the New Empire, Mega Punching Kong, and Mega Heat Ray Godzilla Evolved. Mega Monkey with RoboFap Hand Extrapolator is going to be over 13 inches tall, as will Godzilla, which is not properly showcased here because my dumbass took a bad picture with a bad pose. But first, let's take a look at Kong.
Und hello there, und monkey.
So detail-wise, we're going to be seeing a lot. It's not crazy or anything like that, but still, a lot. Lovely fur and skin detailing going on with Kong's head over here. Looks like they kind of overshot the Casbah when it came to the gray paint going on over here because it's kind of just moving into Kong's fur, but that's okay. Again, lovely fur detailing. They're still not painting Kong's friggin' ear on either side. No. Kong's face is looking pretty good, if a bit marked up in transit. Yeah, I couldn't control that at all. But again, wrinkling, nostril detailing, lovely line work going on with Kong's brows, in and around his eye and such. Moving into the teeth though, despite that nicked part of the paint, the upper row of teeth don't look too bad. The detailing on the inside of his mouth, or just his tongue, is decent enough. Yes, I know, no silver tooth, what can you do? Has any Playmate Kong so far had the silver tooth, the false tooth? I don't think so. The lower row of teeth over here are just going to look like yellow marshmallows. They're not going to have any major definition, but, you know, gum and rounded out detailings. That's cool. Moving into the monkey titties and abdominals over here. I mean, we've got some nice detailing along Kong's pecs, moving into his abs. We've got the scars over here, the little speaker holes in between his titties. Thankfully, the beard only covers this one speaker right here, but other than that, you're going to be fine. Not too much going on here. Some messy paint applications. Lack thereof a monkey belly button. Moving into the monkey crotch and legs. Speaking of the legs, more fur detailing. More skin detailing. Bro ain't got no toenails. I mean, there's slight indication that they're there, like over here, but nothing crazy. Same for the other foot at large. Kong's monkey fist over here is going to have some lovely detailing for the fingernails and the knuckles and such. Wrinkly, hairy, random paint smudge, and more wrinkly. And yes, I know what you're going to ask, and we'll answer that later. Look at how big this thing is compared to my head. Now, before we get to the most important trait of this Kong, let's take a look at the Omega Infinity Fapper. Details ain't too bad. Some of them a little bit on the yogurty side, as this is probably just a blown up version of one of the 6-inch figures or even the giant figure. The Beast Glove will have its straps, its buckles, its mechanical looking detailings, and it will feature all of that on both sides, including some copyright. Kong's Beast Glove hand over here is actually going to have an all rubber fist going on over here so kids don't hurt themselves. Not bad, Playmates, not bad. So the detailings on Kong's hand at least are going to be a bit on the yogurty and soft side. It's also why the two yellows over here don't exactly match, but honestly, it doesn't bother me. And yeah, we're gonna have the details, the decals, the whole 9 yards. Let's talk about what truly matters here. Beautiful detailing on Kong's back, the back of his head, the back of his arms, filled with screw holes, but Mega punching monkey cheeks! Mega punching monkey cheeks! Mega punching monkey cheeks! The cheeks are back. Thank God. I wonder if there's any hidden Why does Kong have cum lube on his ass cheek? What in the goddamn fuck? Oh, Jesus, tap dancing Christ. I gotta get in there with a cloth or something because that just makes me feel icky. Alright, Kong, let's wipe that cum lube away. There we go. Sorry, Doc. We're getting new gloves soon. Alright, before I was so lubely interrupted. Not too much is going to be going on with Kong's backside, save for the luscious cheeks. Yeah, the feet are hollow. I would give Grand Mega Monkey Infinity Fapper Gloved Arm 2 solid stars in terms of paint and details. Although I will say I am missing the original Mega Kong's Chelsea grin mouth articulation. It just looked cool to me. I understand that's not an accurate depiction, but I don't know, I thought that was cool. Now we can take a look at Kong's gimmicks and articulation. So this time to activate Mega Kong's Mega Punch, you have to squeeze his legs together. Just like that. And yeah, the spring-loaded arm really doesn't stay up. It kind of just flops about. You punching my fucking camera, you degenerate piece of shit? I wish it locked in when it went in for the mega punch. Ironically enough, though, I hold it like this. It stays up. Bring it up. It goes limp. Just like the original, though, we will have a button on Kong's back, which will activate the roar and glowing eyes feature. That's gonna be it for Kong's gimmicks. I'll give the roaring and light up gimmick a solid star because it still works. It's just this mega punching gimmick. Either I have the worst luck in the world with mega punching Kong, or this is just not a foolproof there of gimmick. Because my original Mega Kong, that mega punch was weak AF fam. It was not Long Island iced tea for me. But now I guess we could take a look at articulationals. Big Monkey Man Hey Arnold, great episode, can move his head from side to side. It won't budge to do a full rotation, so that's just fine. At the shoulder blade, the arm can move all the way around. It can also move up about that far. Can it go further? That doesn't make me feel safe. We will get a swivel at the elbow over here, and we will be able to bend in as well as out. Full swivular banana bread chip at the wrist. As you already saw, one of the major improvements to that of Mega Monkey is that his legs will be articulated. Can kick forward about that far. Whoa, monkey cheek. Can kick back about that far with a lovely bend at the knee. And I'm pretty sure, yep, these things can rotate from side to side, just like that. It genuinely do be feeling like these legs are on somewhat of like a play school ratchet. They can't rotate all the way. Well, I choose not to rotate them all the way. Oh, and the knees can bend forward as well. Realistically, I don't think you'd really be needing most of that articulation in the legs because this thing can't hold a pose without a stand. A beefy stand at that. And I guess I can cover the last thing for Kong, that being the Beast Glove arm does not articulate out or anything like that. It doesn't. And since this arm is purposefully loose for the mega punching gimmick, yeah, it really doesn't do anything. The rating remains, let's take a look at Godzilla, and leave me alone. Photography lighting. Shut up, monkey. Godzilla is a massive boy, and he doesn't differ too much from the giant Godzilla that we got prior, save for his exclusive gimmicks. Yeah, not going to mince words with you. About the same amount of detail we got with other figures. I think the elbow spikes are a bit different this go around, but you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times. We've got a mixture of the salmon-colored, yogurty-looking dorsal fins and the clear-cut, much better detailed dorsal fins. One thing I'll definitely give Playmates this go-around, though, is that the entirety of this portion of the tail is actually going to be a soft rubber. As you can see, this tail actually has some give over here. It does get a bit more solid in the mid-portion, but as you get to the tip and such, it really does rubber out. The details are decent enough when it comes to the dorsal fins and overly large thagomizer. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And save for this portion right here, the underside of the tail is going to be entirely painted with Godzilla's underbelly paint color. We'll get it on the inside of the thighs, on Godzilla's Godzilla, moving into his chest and even the undersides of his arms, just not hands. We'll even get a little bit of that on the neck. Well, I will say this doesn't look as cursed as I thought it would. I mean, the upper row of teeth are still painted as if they were painting with oatmeal. But, you know, it ain't too bad. This is based off of concept art, so we know why it looks the way it does now. It's a Playmates figure, tried and true. You're gonna see the obvious speaker, the obvious button, parts of the figure that just aren't as crazily detailed as others, par for the course. Fam. Nice pink tongue on the inside of his mouth. Some decent inner mouth paint working on over here. Some nice claw paint as we've seen prior. And some nice toe paint for good measure. It's a Playmates Godzilla Evolved figure. It's massive. It's a little inconsistent, but it's still better than the Bandai Movie Monster series Godzilla Evolved. Solid star in terms of paint and detail, especially in comparison to that of other Playmates Godzilla Kong products. So obviously we're going to get a button. Godzilla's eyes look a little on the dead side. He's got clear dorsal fins. Clearly, we're going to be getting some lighting up and roar gimmicks. So let's click that button and listen on. And another. One more time. Now, of course, there is the gimmick. Like, the main reason to get this thing. To start off, rip off Godzilla's head. Oh dear God, that looks hilarious. You see that hole in his head? That's where you're gonna need this Seed of Chucky impregnation device filled with water. But just to make it known, this part over here is going to twist and remove. As the misting effect for this Godzilla from Playmates is going to be sponge-oriented. And thankfully enough, Playmates will include a spare sponge. As for when all of this runs out, I don't know what to tell you. But basically, just fit that back in, turn it to the side, get your impregnation device, and then just gently squeeze some water into the hole. Don't overfill it. I would do 3 squirts of water. Let it settle just a little bit. And then get Godzilla's scalp back on his head. And now we're going to turn off the lights. Let's just hope it works first try. It did not, but you saw how bright he was, right? Alright, he might have needed a little bit of a tilt, but... there we go. I really do like that the vapage doesn't start until the final light hits the base of his neck, and I really do like that the mist in and of itself is quite powerful. Like, it is thick. And don't worry, it's nice and cold. It's not a hot mist or anything like that. Let's see what that looks like one more time in the dark! Oh, yeah. Oh. Very nice. When it comes to giant Godzilla figures like this made for gimmicks and such, lights in the dorsal fins, a roaring feature, and an atomizer at the back of the thing's throat so it can breathe a misty fire is just the wave. Solid star in terms of Godzilla's gimmicks. And for future reference, yes, if it's going to breathe mist, that's going to get a solid star out of me as long as it works. One for the road there, Goji! Oh, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Now it's time for articulation. Obviously nothing at the head, save for the mouth that can open and close. Like the original Mega Godzilla, this guy is going to have ball joints at the shoulder blades over here. They can lurch forward. They can lurch back. They can rotate all the way around. They can swivel at the wrist. And they can aid in getting Godzilla into a running pose, which is about the only pose you're going to get out of this thing. The right leg over here can kick forward pretty far and back pretty far, but since it's posed at this angle, posing it forward really ain't going to ward you much. As shown here, the opposite leg can kick forward, not too far, and can kick back just ever so decently. And now for the tail, it's on a ball joint, so it can move up and down, all around, side to side. And yeah, the tail fell off, but now I can demonstrate just how much easier the tail is to get on. There you go. And honestly, that's the first time it's popped off since I tried posing this thing. The tail's gonna act like somewhat of a third leg for Godzilla to hold him up at his true height, but for the most part, this is about what I was expecting in terms of articulation for this guy. So hey, solid star for the giant plastic gimmick-filled lizard. I know I've been going off my new script with this here video, but it's 2 gigantic figures. I have a lot to talk about. Now let's move on over into size comparisons. Shokugan, Movie, King, HG, Sham, NECA, Mega Monkey, Mega Lizard. Oh. Now in comparison, the original Mega Godzilla, as I'm sure we all remember, had a very stumpy tail. Thankfully, that was fixed with Mega Godzilla Evolved. He's a bit taller than the original Mega Godzilla, and to be completely honest, while I love this thing's gimmick of being able to shoot plastic projectiles, I prefer the mist so much more. The lights are still fantastic, the roaring gimmick is still nice. I do wish this guy's lights stayed on a bit longer like this guy's did. But at least this guy didn't have goofy black painted on pupils like this guy does. Moving on to Kong. I really don't think I need to say much because this guy is a bunch of different shades of brown. This guy is one singular shade of brown. This guy's got leg pose ability. This guy was stiff from the absectional right into the ankles, which could be swiveled. It's obvious that this is the better Kong, but again, I miss the Chelsea grin smile over here. Angry Marge Simpson noises.
Homie!
And as I alluded to earlier, you can take this guy's axe out of his hands, and you cannot put it in Kong's hand. And unlike the original, this opening is too small, and this hand is much too solid. There is no give to this whatsoever. And I am genuinely aghast as to why this was done. That's just weird. But anyway, that's it. Mega Godzilla and Mega Kong from Playmates. They're definitely upgrades from the originals. They've got their stronger points and their weaker points. I really like them both. They're gonna look great on the top shelf back there with their Mega and Giant brethren. And I hope you enjoyed the video. But don't fret, I'll be back with all of y'all tomorrow with a review of the Bandai Limited Movie Monster Series Godzilla 1954 Yomiuri Giants 90th Anniversary Color Edition. Is that even going to fit in the YouTube title?